Hello and welcome to Motorized TV. I'm your host Philip, and today we're going to talk about 5 reasons why I bought my Mark 6 Golf GTI Edition 35. A bit of context about my car. I've owned this 2011 Mark 6 GTI since 2015, so this makes it as today as I'm filming this around about 3 years, a bit more, maybe half a month more. And today I want to show you why I bought it, what were my reasons for me to buy it. As the first reason is obviously the engine. This car comes not with the standard GTI engine, it comes with the older EA113 engine, which is from the Golf R, which is tested for more performance. And if you've seen my video, you know it produces 235 horsepower and 300 newton meters of torque. And I really love this engine. It is very torquey, you can rev it really hard up to 7,000 RPM, and it just goes. I think it is the perfect engine for this car, as within this range, within the size of the engine, how heavy or how light it is, it just fits this car very well. Another point for this engine is of course its reliability. If you service it regularly, you're gonna have an engine that runs forever. And also parts are very easily to get your hands on, so that's what makes it another great point, this engine. And that's why I love it so much. Point number 2 is of course the design and the styling of the car, especially on the exterior. I like how this car looks, especially if you have the Edition 35, which adds some things here and there. For example, the tail lights are a bit darker and you have these nice LED headlights, which look very cool and give it this distinctive look. And especially if they have the little LED dots that I have here, like the upgraded version of it, then you have really a car that still looks modern after 2011, after 7 years. And I think this is what makes this car great. Also, the exhaust tips are not in the middle, they are on the side, and this is what I really like. I mean, it doesn't have 4 exhaust tips, it doesn't need to have, I guess. I think the Golf 7R is a bit too much for a Golf, but I know why they did it. And this is always when I think about my car that I have those 2 exhaust pipes, which just look really cool and they're just in the right spot. And of course there is the general styling of the Golf. I personally really like it. I know there are some people who just don't like the shape of those hatchbacks, but for me personally, the Golf is a handsome car. And especially when you have it with 5 doors, because I don't like the look of the coupe with the 2 doors. For me, it's just personal taste. I think it's not suitable for this car, but I know a lot of people they don't even see the 5-door Golf as a normal Golf. So I guess it's what's your taste, but mine is definitely the 5-door version. And for me, I love it. And that's point number 2. The third point of this list is the interior. The interior is for me the most important part of a car, because you spend the most time with it, or in it, should I better say. So that's why I bought this car, as one of the main reasons. I like how it looked. And I have to admit, when I bought it, when I looked at the steering wheel, just from pictures, I thought, and it doesn't look so good. But then I test drove it and I just felt it, and in person it does look a lot better. So if some of you may think, oh no, that steering wheel, it looks a bit outdated, I also thought that. But now I don't even see it anymore. It just looks very good and it feels very, very good. The leather just really feels as it's new and I can't see any difference. I love the seats of the GTI. I love this Jackie GTI design that they have going on there, and they have still, even in their new cars, as the Golf 7. And I just love sitting in them. They give me a really good comfort. I know they're a bit on the tighter side, but for me, as I'm not too big, it's really easy. And you really you can find your position. Of course, there are manual seats as for a cheaper car than as a Golf is. But still, I never really had the need for anything else. I like the seats, I like the looks, and the quality is very good. The cloth still feels new, basically, as the car is 7 years old. I think this speaks for the quality of Volkswagen engineering at the time. And you can see those just complement the car so well. I'm really proud of Volkswagen that they're still keeping this legendary GTI design even on their new Golf 7. And I think, as I also said in my video, if you haven't seen it, by the way, go check it out. I will link it in the info box below. And yeah, such as I said as well in that other video, I just love those seats, and they were a main point of me buying those. And you save money because you don't have to buy the leather ones, as those ones I know they have a bit better comfort if you have to drive on longer roads, for example. But for me, still, I had to get those seats. This was just a must for me. The fourth point is a very sensible point. The heritage it is. From 1976, from the first Golf GTI till today, they still keep on having this GTI feeling in those cars. You feel like you have this affordable, like everyday power for everybody. It's super cool, and that's why I like the GTI and the GTI brand as well. For me, it's so important that a car has like sort of a connection to the back, and the Golfs, especially as I have the anniversary edition, they just do this really good. And always when I sit in my car, I think like, yes, back then in 1976, it must have felt the same. You just had this little bit extra more power, and you still have all the practicality that you need. And speaking of practicality, leads me to point 5, the last point on my list, which is practicality and usability, I've called it. For me, it's very important. I only have one car, I only have one garage space, so I cannot get all those cars because I need the car to get stuff done, to carry around people and everything. So for me, this is a really, really important point, and that's why I'm ending this video with this one. The Golf is the 5-door version, so the back passengers are really fine. They have a lot of space, and I did some road trips as well, even with people in the back, and there were just no complaints. Even if you're five persons in the vehicle, the comfort is still really good. I mean, for up to 1 hour, there's basically no problem. You can just drive it as you have a really big SUV with more space. Of course, the front seats, I just talked about them, they're very comfortable, and you can really drive basically 24 hours with them if you need to. And how everything feels, the suspension, it's not too harsh. It's just, yeah, I just like the general package that this car delivers. And of course, the back, the cargo area, it is really big. If you fold down the seats, you have around 1,300 liters, which is lots of space. And for me personally, I need this space sometimes, and that's why it's so cool for me to have this car. And yes, this concludes my list of the 5 reasons why I bought this car. I hope, if you like this video, that you will give me a like or subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my car and more of me, of course. And with that, I would like to end and thank you for watching today's show. I'm your host Philip, and have a great day. See you next time.